Alright guys, what's popping? So welcome to another episode about the VIX strategy. So in this video I'm going to be talking about fair value gaps. Alright, we've dealt with other blocks already. So the remaining things we're going to be doing about other block now is to be back testing, and the more we back testing, the more we understand the concepts of other blocks. Alright, so you know what's talking about point of interest. When I first started off the admonishment of this VIX strategy, I said we're going to be learning 5 major things, which is we're going to be learning order blocks, we're going to be learning Fibonacci, we're going to be learning fair value gaps, we're going to be learning about liquidity and market structure. So I said fair value gaps and order blocks are point of interest, POI, alright? I've dealt with order block already. So if you felt I didn't do much justice to order block, in the group we have on WhatsApp, just drop your questions. Come to my DM, hit me up about it. I'm very down to answer questions, alright? So now we're going to be talking about fair value gaps. If you look at my screen right now, let's go straight to the business of today. So if you look at my screen right now, you'll see, let's do a quick recap. We said if you want to identify there are two types of order block, the bullish order blocks and the bearish order block. If you want to identify a bullish order block, the bullish order block is the order block that has the last, bearish candle before a bullish expansion, while the bearish order block is the order block that has a bullish candle before a bearish expansion to the downside. All right, so now a fair value gap, like I said, is when you are marking, your candles, you have to count 3 candles, 1, 2, 3 candles from anywhere entirely, you understand? So you have to count 1, 2, 3. That space in between is where you mark out your fair value gaps actually. That space in between here like this, that is where you mark as your fair value gap, alright? So now, let me merge something together now. In the VIX strategy, our order blocks and our fair value gap, they work together, alright? So if you're trading the VIX strategy now, order block is our most, how will I put it now, is our kill zone in the VIX strategy. Order block is what we trade. Order block is what we trade. And I've told you the kind of order blocks we're looking for. Alright, order block that has not been mitigated, order block that have imbalance, that imbalance being the fair value gap now. Order block that, broke structure, all those 4 things I listed about order blocks, you understand? Now, about the fair value gap now, is more of like an added confluence. You understand what I'm talking about? So anytime you're marking fair value gaps in the VIX strategy, the strategy we're using, you make sure there's an order block above that fair value gap. That is what I just want us to understand about fair value gaps. If you're marking a fair value gap, make sure there is an order block, which is this order block that is here now. Alright? Which is this order block that is here. Make sure there is an order block above the fair value gap. So if price comes to fill this imbalance, for instance now, people always ask this question. Let me digress a little bit. People always ask this question. If there is a fair value gap, there's a fair value gap before your order block, and the 2 of them are point of interest as we know them to be. Which one should I mark as my POI? Which one should I enter? Should I enter the trade at the beginning of the fair value gap and put my stop loss above the fair value gap, or should I enter the trade at my order block, the beginning of my order block, and put the stop loss over my order block? Now they are like, if I should enter in my fair value gap, the trade might take me out because it might be aiming for the order block. And if I should enter at the order block, it might not reach the order block. It might just, fill this FVG to the 50% and come downwards. Which one should I do? It all depends on your strategy. But that's just the answer. It depends on your strategy. But for the VIX strategy, actually now, we don't trade off the fair value gap. We wait for the order block, for it to mitigate the order block, all right? That's just it. I'm not started teaching about entries and the rest, but we take our trades from order blocks. We don't take any trade from fair value gaps. Fair value gaps is just an added confluence, a confirmation to allow us to know that the order block we're marking from is a strong order block. That's just it. So same goes to a bearish, sorry. Why is it coloring white? Why is my order block changing color now? Sorry about that. I don't know why. All right, I guess I'll just use this shape instead. Same goes for the bullish order block. When you mark your order block, which is the last bearish candle before the bullish expansion, and note something. Make sure you have your books and your Bible when I'm talking, so you adjust some kind of things I might not repeat again. Note something. When you marking your order blocks and your fair value gaps, make sure those point of interest are at a swing high or a swing low of a trending market. So you understand? What do I mean by swing high and swing low? Say something, for instance, now. The market is trending downwards like this, all right? All these tips like this, all these tips like this, these places, these are your swing highs, and these are your swing lows, all those places here. You understand? Same goes for a bullish market also. If the market is sloping upwards, these are your swing highs. You understand? These are your swing highs here, and these are your swing lows. Sorry about that. And I think sorry. And that is your swing lows, all right? So back to what I was explaining. When you mark your order block and you show that the order block is strong because it has an imbalance, which we're calling our fair value gap now. Oh dear. Sorry about that. I had a pause in my camera. All right, and we had a fair value gap in the middle of the order block. We know that the order block is stronger. The fair value gap is just like an added confluence. It's not like we're entering a trade from our fair value gap or through our imbalance. Though a lot of strategy works like that immediately price comes into the imbalance, the fair value gap, and fills it. It just takes off from there, but not the VIX strategy. That's why I said in that explanation I gave here, should I enter from the fair value gap or the order block? In the VIX strategy, we enter from the order block. From any other strategy, you might use the fair value gap, you understand? So let's go and give chart examples. Just very few. I've already explained order blocks, you understand? So we just need few examples for fair value gaps and all. Like I said in the other one, out of the four confluences and the properties, I said a valid order block should have. I said it should not be mitigated. That means the order block should have not been tested before. Price should have not touched it by a wick or a body of a candle before. That's the first one. Number two, it should break structure in some kind of way. After price formed the order block, it should break some kind of swing high or swing low before retesting back to it to know that it's a valid order block. The third one, I said it should have an imbalance. That's a fair value gap, right? You should have that one. And the last one, I think I said it should be in a trending market, right? Yeah, all these things, they're already clogged in my head. If I don't see them, I just mark it like that, you understand? So I just have to write down those properties for those that are still learning. But now, let's look at this market. Now, this is a bearish market now. This is a bearish market. We're looking for our valid order blocks. Remember, well, our order block is at a swing high, a swing low. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking for. And now, we're looking for another block in, okay, these are swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low. Market kind of broke structure here, but see, it didn't break structure again here. I wouldn't consider this a break of structure. This is just the week, all right? So it's still a bearish trend. So immediately market, market formed another block here. If you can see it very well, 1, 2, 3, all right? Last bullish candle before a bearish expansion. This is a bearish trend, obviously. And there is a fair value gap. Let me zoom in a little bit. Hope I've not missed. Okay, there's it here. There's it here. Let's mark our order block then. Just giving like 2 examples here. All right, this was the order block, right? Oh, and price did not mitigate it actually. Price didn't. See what happened. If it were to be under strategy, it might have picked it, but not the VIX strategy, so we don't enter this trade because price only filled the imbalance and swiped downwards. All right, let's zoom out a little bit. It's like I saw something. So price actually really, price came back actually to pick it up. See something? Yeah, price picked it. See? So if you have missed this one, price actually really came back to it fully and that's it. This was the move here. Price actually really filled the other block, so it's valid. You understand what I'm talking about? And let's look for one more example. And let's call that all for fair value gap. Fair value gap does not need too much explanation, so you would not mix it up. It's a very easy concept. Now we're looking for order blocks, a valid order block. This was a valid order block also. Last bullish candle before a bearish expansion. It had an imbalance here, but like price did not come up to it. If you see an order block has, price have left an order block for a very long time, just ignore that order block. Like sure, because the price is coming through it. See this news inducements that happened right here. Price just came and cleared it. Imagine you've marked the order block here like this. Price will have cleared you out because this is 1 hour time frame. This is days. You understand? So you just let your order block be and leave it alone. Yeah, so we have a valid order block also here, but price didn't, it took too much time to come and mitigate it. So we'll just delete that order block. And we're looking for other blocks. We had one also here, last bearish candle for a bullish expansion. And remember I said again in the 4 properties that the order block should be engulfed totally. I remember now. Number 1, it should be engulfed totally, like the next candle after the order block should cover the whole order block. Like the second one now, the order block should break structure, the order block should not be mitigated, and it should have a fair value gap. And see, it was not mitigated, it was engulfed, has a fair value gap, a valid order block, but see, price didn't come back to it. You understand? Not every time price just comes back to our order block. Alright, so we had some kind of funny bullish trend here though. Okay, we had our order block here also, which price actually really came back to last bearish candle before a bullish expansion. This was a bullish market, alright? So we'll just mark that. Alright, just mark that like that. So that's it. See, it's actually really fulfilled all the properties for an order block. The fair value gap was there, intact. Very, very nice order block. Fair value gap was there, that's the imbalance. It broke structure, it broke out the structure here. It broke the structure here to the upside. So if price is coming back to it, it's a valid order block. That's the second property. It was engulfed by the next candle. That's the third property. This next candle covered the whole order block. And the fourth one is, what was the fourth one? It should not be mitigated before. It was not mitigated until price came inside of it, all right? So, and immediately price has touched the order block, and you have already achieved your trade, just, delete the order block, because see price coming back to it again, just swept it away. You understand? So that's basically that about fair value gap. If you imagine fair value gap with the VIX strategy, it's more of like an added confluence. They work together. You understand? We don't take prices in the VIX strategy off your fair value gap. You understand? We take prices off our order block that has a fair value gap. That's basically that about that, guys. Cheers and God bless.